Oh goodness. Looks like we are live. Let's just get that link out there to all the good boys and girls. You can tell I'm not very good at this because to all the good boys and girls, because I don't know how to do this automated yet, and it's not like I have any viewers yet, but this is going to be on the recording, so let's just quickly put this on pause. Hello 5 viewers, I am just finishing up my last bit of spam and then we can get to the brochure. I don't have a great deal of time this evening, so I'm just going to get straight into it and hope that we get some, let's hope we can get through everything. I'm just going to put you down there. You can see I don't have a very professional streaming setup. So yeah, the Gatac Railen. Loving the colourful brochure. Though I always find it funny that the Xi'an are supposed to be this like ancient and quite austere race, and they have all these really colourful ships, and then the Banu, who are like party animals, have like the austere silver and gold. If you haven't seen it already, the logo that actually just says Gatac Manufacturing underneath is Autoa Gatac, and they are the house that has a monopoly on cargo ships. Hey, thanks. Thank you very much. 80s vibes, yeah. Okay, so, there's some, yeah, so this is really going to put my translation to the test. So this says, well, it says what it says here. So this text here matches this text here. Powerth leng ai altoa ngatak. So that probably I think that just means introducing, so introductions regarding Autoang Gatac. The reason why Autoang Gatac means Gatac manufacture is because so Ao means company, corporation, or at least that's the best way to translate it. And then Toa means to make stuff, to make physical objects, so manufacturing. I'm not sure why Po Weath Leng would mean introducing. Let's hit the UEXI, get some the dictionary up. There you go. So Po is so we can break it down. So Po is the idea, as like it's an idea, it's an abstract concept. Wei, oh okay, yeah. So that's just. I was trying to think if it had any other meaning in context. It kind of just means like the idea of Lang. Ath is fairing, I think. But that'd be low pitch. I'm sure Ath appears in the first syllable of goodbye. Unless I'm just... Oh, okay. So what's happening is I'm mixing myself up because I was reading that as way, one syllable, and then ath. It's actually wea thleng. So thleng is begin, and wea I thought was salad, but obviously it's not salad. It is describe. So the idea of beginning to describe regarding Altoang. So that's how that translates as introducing. Okay, so many humans think of Xi'an culture as alien in every sense of the word. Yeah, kind of. However, clear advantages, showing advanced methods. And by advanced, they have been going for like about 20,000 years at this point, this company. So they're pretty good at it now. So this is the first ship they've ever sold to the UEE. That's interesting to know. And built... So it's actually being built for both human and Xi'an crews. That's interesting. So it sounds like it's a new design. Amongst the major houses of the Xi'an Empire, and there are a few, House Gatac maintains a... That's interesting. They're spelling it with a K there, whereas it's with a C there. It's a K in the a normal Xi'an translation. During the Great Divide, so the Civil War was 20,000 years ago, and they destroyed their home world, which was, you don't want to do that. And... they were vassals to this house Rua, who then became the first Xi'an emperors. So all the surviving houses, well, yeah, I think most of the houses survived, but the surviving houses got together and they decided, okay, we're going to make one house that will rule over them and basically stop any of this civil war stuff happening again. There were a couple of houses that didn't agree to this, and they got killed, so that was fun. But yeah, part of this new arrangement was that the emperor and the bureaucracy was going to tell every house that you get one job and one industry, and you're going to be the only people who do that, and everyone else have to buy that thing from you. And obviously, being friendly with them, House Gatac got the job of making industrial spaceships. Poa came along later, I believe. Sorry, my mouse was a bit easy. Okay, Yiwa Se Gnatak means just the house of Gatac. Sorry, I have trouble with that syllable. Yiwa is what translates as house or lineage or line. Really, it doesn't translate perfectly anyway. There's no way to ideally translate that. I'm just checking everything's working over here. Yeah, cool. If you have any questions, do just pop them in the chat. I do have it in the corner of my eye. It doesn't translate perfectly because it's not like houses in family. That'd be like Pia Hai, is your little nuclear family. And it's not, it's kind of both a great house and a company and a nation. And you can kind of, when you hear house, you can kind of think of like a country. And that's also what this text here says, Yewase Ngatak. Okay, so when House Klu, reeling in the conflict of the Great Divide, engaged in a misguided act that poisoned the atmosphere of Xi'an, homeworld Rishian, they literally turned it into Venus. 3 Gatac elders perished alongside Rua's leaders. Rua, remembering that was the ones who became the first emperor. Emperor Yale Se Rua, that's a woman's name, honoured House Gatac for its service and sacrifice, awarding exclusive rights to build industrial spacecraft for the Empire into perpetuity. And that's like the normal arrangement for all things. There is a house that has exclusive rights to make clothes. There is a house that has exclusive rights to make guns. Houses have exclusive rights to commit crimes. That's how they do their economy. Today, House Gatac, via Gatac Manufacture, celebrates its first foray into the human market, utilising patented Gravlev technology, though they weren't the inventors of that. I can't remember who it was. It might have been House Rua who invented Gravlev. And time-tested traditional designs, updated for 2951 and beyond. The Railen is a prime example of why the Xi'an Empire has trusted House Gatac to produce its industrial vessels for centuries. So, yeah, you're going to expect that any other Xi'an sort of cargo ship is going to be a House Gatac from this. I really love this art. So these kind of hexagonal, so triangular hexagons have become quite like a design staple in the Xi'an art. You can kind of find that a lot in Alpoa stuff as well, but it seems to be like something that they're really driving as this is a shape that crops up a lot in Xi'an design. In fact, Chris Harrow, who makes the fonts, has his name in a in that shape on a necklace. So Xi'an design. Oh, it's a lovely, beautiful ship. Oh, it's quite big. I'm definitely going to get myself one of these. Sath Xi'an just means Xi'an design. Strangely, they've capitalized Sath here, which I wouldn't have expected. And they've also misspelled Xi'an. This says Xi'an with a long A, which is incorrect. I do love the typography here. I doubt this is actually a font. Someone's saying pronounce my name as Jail. Yeah, so this probably won't be a font, as in you won't be able to... Someone hasn't typed this, they've probably drawn this by hand. And we had that with the Santokyai brochure as well. But yeah, this should only have one bar here. And this probably shouldn't be capitalized, but that's... I mean, maybe they do want to capitalize it. Those double bars just mean like the same as a capital letter in English, but that doesn't... That can appear in the middle of the word, like for Xi'an. All the text on the ship appears to be in Latin letters. So you can see Gatac there. So there's nothing to really zoom in. Noble, practical, adaptable. I like that. I really hope there is some like Xi'an writing on the ship when we actually get it. That would be really cool because we haven't had any yet, and even the Nox. I mean, apart from the Nox being a word that Xi'an can't pronounce, it will just have squiggles on it, and also, of course, the Katual. Interior. Kalore-san, the interior of the ship. You know, there's not much mystery between these translations. That text is that writing is that. Yeah. So the Railen's convention-defying interior changes the game when it comes to synergy between Xi'an and human hauling concerns, from the creative employment of traditional Xi'an Gravlev tech to innovative facilities that accommodate interspecies crews. One thing, you know, so both humans and Xi'an use the same toilets, which at least is useful to know, but they don't cook food. They ferment things, and they have like food prep areas, but there's no like burners or anything. And they sleep in beds, but they can lower their metabolic rates, basically meditate themselves into sort of a stasis, so they don't really need as much on long journeys. And they only eat every few days. And what's some other interesting things? Room temperature is 30 degrees for them, and they like humidity. So a Gravlev lift, that's pretty cool, though from the looks of it, it's kind of just like a lift where they haven't got the pylons in. So the cockpit has been reimagined to comfortably accommodate both human and Xi'an crew. I guess that means like adjustable seat heights. It's really nice though. I really like this. I wonder how these seats are going to come back for getting into them. Again, this just says Altoa. Okay, Gatac. This order still says the interior of the ship, design style, time-tested design principles, refined and perfected by House Gatac over the centuries, have been expertly reimagined for interspecies use. Oh yeah, interior Gravlev, so we'll actually be using this lift to come all the way through. That's interesting. Xi'an use Gravlev for absolutely everything. Last year I asked the question at the Q&A. Hey, Chris is here. Hello, Chris. Yeah, so as Chris is saying, it looks like they did dual language signs on the ship, and the Xi'an part is just like gibberish. Yeah, it looks like they're using very similar sort of random letters, which I can understand, though it is quite easy to now just like get the Xi'an font open and type something in. And in fact, there's an old video where it shows a Xi'an door and some Xi'an characters appear, and it actually just says "the hype is real" in Xi'an letters, not in Xi'an language, just in English. So yeah, okay, so the lift is going to be explained as Gravlev. That's cool. Yeah, so I can see what you mean, Chris, about the gibberish here. Oh well, that'll all get changed. That's fine. Yeah, so mess hall. So obviously we're all going to sit around table. Xi'an actually quite like having big family meals, so that's nice to know. I'm loving this design though. I really like the thing. I really need to release my font I made, which kind of suits this aesthetic. Well, it's a little bit more aggressive. It's a little bit less readable. You can see that on Reddit. I posted some stuff about that. Yi Chen. So sometimes it's even just to read the Xian. Yi Chen wa say hum uth Xian. So Yi is I thought that was like dogma, like, or the belief in a system. Chris made this website as well, so everyone give props to Chris for that, because belief in my vocabulary is not very good. So it's going to like be belief in living together for humans of Xi'an. Living in comfort. Okay, yeah, belief in living in comfort. So when they're saying Yi here, it's kind of like commitment to. So they're committing to. So there's a bit of a just difference between what's said here. It's like we're committing ourselves to thinking that humans and Xi'an can be comfortable together. Though I'm not going to get on with someone who thinks that 30 degrees is room temperature. I love the rose gold accents as well. I think that's really cool. So for the human market debut, Gatac has ensured every part of the Railen is accessible to both Xi'an and human crew members. You can read this yourselves. I'm just trying to see if there's anything really nice lore-wise. I guess that maybe like if these pods, so adaptable sleeping pods feature a retractable bed, allowing for easy conversion between humans and Xi'an use. Not sure what would be that difference other than like bed height and maybe the temperature. Then again, maybe there's differences in how they sleep based on their anatomy, because we don't really know. Oh, Tyler, when he's saying about gibberish, it's the things like you can kind of see here, it says bridge, and then it just has some symbols here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, so these symbols are clearly not Xi'an because they just don't look like Xi'an characters, but you presume that would be the Xi'an word for bridge there. And you can see it also here, these syllables, so that's saying like hydraulics or something. But yeah, those characters aren't Xi'an. And yeah, that's just fine placeholder stuff, but it'd be nice if we can get those replaced. So yeah, okay, now we're getting into the interesting bits about like multi-species stuff. A fully loaded galley includes both refrigeration heating implements alongside fermentation vessels and a growth wall for Xi'an gourmands. So so Xi'an ferment all their food. Their idea of food preparation is just fermentation. They don't cook things. And you can have maybe hygienics. Yeah, maybe it says hygienics. So you have these growth walls. They're calling them here scratch walls. This is a cleaning. This is new to me. Okay, I'll come back to that. So you have house strains of microbes that you use to make food, and you have house strains that you use to make a sauce called glop sauce, and all of that's very important for food preparation. But fortunately, we will also have cooking facilities. State-of-the-art facilities accommodate human and Xi'an waste, so that's fortunate. Unlike Banu, though, there's no implication in the language guide that you need a special toilet when you're a human in Xi'an space, whereas with Banu you do. And yeah, so it looks like Xi'an prefer, rather than showering, they sort of scratch themselves off and on a scratch wall. That's an interesting new bit of information to me. So weapons. So that says weapons in Unrosing. That word might even be in found another spelling mistake. There's no pitch markings in this bit. Sorry, I'm just going to be pedantic about spelling. This is part of the challenge of doing this kind of doing hand-drawn stuff, is that you can often forget to put in the pitch markings. So this currently just has like, it doesn't have these two pitch markings, the rise to fall. It just has neutral fall. So Unroseng is like the set of weapons for protection. So it's focusing on perception. Is there a fascination interest from the Xi'an for human fermented foods? Yes, we have translated. So there's loan words from human languages into Xi'an of foods that they like. So they like soy sauce. So there's both There's both a word which translates to like red brown liquid that's tasty or something like that, and there's shoyu, which is from Japanese, as a loan word, and it's like the two different words that Xi'an would use depending on how au fait they are with human cuisine. They do like some cooked foods where the flavors appeal to them, so they like a specific type of fermented Ethiopian bread called injera, or inchera, I think, and that is their word for all bread. I think they quite like cheese as well, maybe. There's really good stuff in A Jump Point about the 3 leaves of flavor, which describes their cuisine. So that's worth looking up. So they have a manual turret, which is got 2 size 4s. That's useful to know. This is not what you came to hear. You know, you don't need to hear this from me. You can read all those yourself. Karai just means the physical place of cargo. Ka'a, I guess. So ka is like a place, and then r is RI would be like boxes, physical cargo objects. So the cargo bay, essentially, Karai. So they have myriad configurations. I'm interested to wonder how like these containers will relate to UEE containers, because these are bespoke cargo pods, they say. So I mean 320 SEU, that's great, like cool. But I wonder if we're going to have to like request special boxes for our Xi'an ship. You know, do you want that packaged in cubes or in these polygons? Sorry, I thought there might be a label up there. Okay. Oh my god, there's lots of nice letters. Rankyu uth unoa is San Railen. So San Railen would be like the a full name for it would be like the cargo ship of smooth. So I've spoken about this before. Like Len means smooth, without issue, peaceful. Not in the sense of not at war, that'd be wa, but like peaceful as in like a peaceful lake. So maybe the Xi'an call it San Railen rather than just Railen. And they've dropped the San because they don't want that to be they don't want like all Xi'an ships to be associated with the word San. It might cause like branding issues. But yeah, so San Railen might well be the Xi'an name for it, but it just means like the cargo ship that is peaceful, rather than just Railen, which is like peaceful cargo. So where is the information? I think that the set of like map information, maybe. You know, map's not a word that I've had to come up with frequently. Let's have a look. Un is set, I remember that one. And Rankyu is levels, so that's probably just like floors of the ship. Set collection series also featured in the word for an asteroid belt. So like an asteroid belt is a set of space rocks in literal translation. So it's not no as in hand because it's a long O. I'm not familiar with that word. There it is. Detail. Settled detail information. So I think that's like maybe map. I don't know, it's just a okay, so yeah, dimensions and detailed information of the San Railen. So dimensions and specifications. I should just read these and then say like, is there a difference? Anyway, let's go across. And it's a beautiful ship. I'm definitely gonna like get one of these, I think. And yeah, there's Gatac. And again, that's just Altoa Gatac spelled out. Okay, so that's everything there is to know about what's written in the margins here. And thanks to Chris for pointing out the squiggles. I hadn't been looking too closely at the pictures, but yeah, you can see there's a lot of placeholder stuff, and it'd be good to see that replaced at some point. Now, some people had some questions. Who was asking a question? Omar was asking some questions. If you'd like, I can just sit here and answer those questions. Let's just see if I can make my... So you don't have to look at my background. Sorry, I'm so hot and sweaty. It's been a long day. Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions, just pop them in the chat and I can see if I can answer them. I've got about 10-15 minutes. I'm going away this weekend, so I'm actually away when there's as like all the alien stuff. So the place I think this comes from. I mean, I got this off Discord, from the Leaks Discord, because I love the Leaks Discord and they love me. But yes, it's on a concierge only thing, so you can get it if you're concierge at the moment, which to my shame I am. Thanks Tomato for clarifying that as well. Banu history. No, I can't explain Banu history because they don't have any. They don't record it. They only record things they find useful, and if it's not useful anymore, they get rid of it. So they are a people who live in the moment. They don't like you wouldn't even know who your parents are, because they will have parceled you off to a child rearing Suli at some point, and that's the end of it. So yeah, they don't have history. It also follows kind of like a Chris Roberts trope of people not having their homeworlds anymore. Banu have forgotten where their homeworld is. It's probably a planet in the Bacchus system. Xi'an have lost their homeworld. The Kilrathi and several other races in his previous games, they all lost their homeworlds. I'm kind of feeling bad for Earth at the moment. Any other questions about anything to pick my brains? If not, you can just get in touch with me on Discord. I'm always around in various places. Unfortunately, I just won't be around much this weekend because I'm going up to Scotland, so that'll be fun. Will the Banu ships get a manufacturer name? No, they won't, because all Banu industry, very much the opposite of Xi'an, is entirely like cottage industry. So they're all, so you have like shipbuilding Sulis, and they will so it's I should pronounce it more properly, Suulis. So a shipbuilding Suuli will make like merchantmen, but they're making that to a design that is both the best of what they've taken from everyone else, and also that they that they might like have some sort of house specialities about it. But they kind of believe that they have no patent system. Like every invention belongs to everyone. They don't even understand the concept of like, this is my invention. And they go, that's great, it's my invention now. And that's how they deal with things. So yeah, and there's a difference about Xi'an houses and Banu Suli. Although they're set up as being like, you look at them and you think, okay, so they're just setting them each up with one individual thing. Well, you could say that humans have corporations, or humans have states. We have these like UEE states, and then that's us. Like Vandal have tribes, and we'll disregard every other part of complexity in their society. Well, no, these are like the primary units. These are the primary parts of how they organize their society. And yeah, I think it is interesting that they have like a linked together idea of both the way you live and the way you work. But I think that also extends to the kind of mega corporation stuff of the UEE. So yeah, you're not going to find Banu toilets on the merchantmen, because they wear, quote, special underwear for their emissions, and the facilities that they use for sanitizing these are not recognizable as a toilet, apparently. I do think it'd be interesting if they go down a route of, with this, they're going down a route of like, okay, let's see how people cohabit. I think it'd be interesting when they get to the merchantmen of maybe having variants for human use and Banu use, or mixed use. But so if you steal a merchantman from a Banu, it's going to look really different to one bought by humans, because Banu don't use beds, Banu don't use toilets. They do use kitchens, but they're not quite as like, well, you could probably make a human meal in a Banu kitchen, but you'd expect like the living space to be very different in those two situations. And I think it'd be great if they could reflect that, just even if it's just like a mode. How do they sleep? They sleep in chairs. They just sit down on a couch, have a little nap, get up, carry on. And they do that several times a day. They have cat naps rather than a long period of lying down and going to sleep. That's the Banu. The Xi'an they can kind of like hibernate, so I guess they could sleep for like a longer period. Interesting, Rolo, about the hexagon packing. I can see how they can pack well. I was more concerned about crossing standards. So in law, the Banu Defender beds, you could also just interpret as couches. You could just interpret it as a place to sit, but then they're wide enough for humans to sleep in, and that's great. It could be that if you took a Banu Defender off a Banu, you'd have a different facility there. I'm not sure, but yeah, that like there's nothing about the Banu Defender which mean that they wouldn't be able to use it, and it doesn't have a toilet. It's supposed to stay there a long time. How are you going to do that? Special underwear. Do aliens have males and females like us? So the Xi'an have males and females. We haven't seen the difference yet, at least not explicitly. The Banu don't have male and female. They do reproduce sexually. Speaking as a biologist, not as anything else. So two individuals come together and mix their genes, but both partners could be the donor and recipient. The recipient being essentially the mother, the donor being the father, and they undergo a voluntary biological change to prepare themselves for that, called Ekchambe, I think. So that's how you end up with new Banu. But yeah, they are completely, they don't have any concept of like two genders, and many Banu will be both father and mother at different periods of their life. Does Banu special underwear come with LTI? I'm afraid that the law team can't make promises about gameplay, and I'm not even part of that team, so why would I know? Yeah, Alistair, yeah, they have kind of like polyphasic sleep, I guess, the Banu. Any other questions before I go and eat some dinner? I hope the sound quality's been okay and you got what you wanted from this. If nothing else, I've got a recording now that I can just point to people when they ask me, what does the squiggle mean in the margins? Chris, if you want to make that suggestion, you're welcome to. I know, the dark matter. Yeah, that's a good reference. Vandal history, again, we don't have Vandal history yet. Both the Tavaran and the Vandal are still at stage before... Alistair, Chris Harrow would be the person who's done the lovely calligraphy for you. So Vandal and Tavaran, I think we're probably going to get at some point like a big reveal like we've had with the Banu and Tavaran, and in both of those instances it's suddenly gone from like very kind of dim outlines and quite reliant on sort of tropes to something far more original and full-featured, and I really look forward to that happening with the Tavaran and the Banu Tavaran and the Vandal. That'd be really exciting. As I say, catch me on Discord if you've got any other questions, and I might do more of these live streams. I kind of enjoy just having a bit of a chat, but we'll see. I'll try and make them more professional, so you don't have like a big bar of blue down this side of the screen. Okay, see you all around the verse. Oh yeah, you can't send me money because I don't have enough subscribers, so subscribe and then maybe you're allowed to send me money. But at the moment I don't have enough subscribers and enough view times, so share my stuff with people and tell them to subscribe.